What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Wednesday. I got a 9-game slate here tonight. I got it broken down for you with my money six of my favorite plays on the slate, 2 pitchers, 4 batters, to hopefully give you some great production and some great spots. So before we get going, if you could drop a like in the video, it'd be greatly appreciated. Uploading this video a little bit later, so let's see if we can hit over 50 likes on this one. Some tough luck yesterday with Giancarlo Stanton leaving the game early. He had one single, then ended up leaving, so that was like a terrible situation there for him. We had Machado go deep. Hunter Renfroe had a bunch of good situations with runners on base and only came up with one hit the one time there was like no one on base, so that was tough. Bumgarner pitched really well. Flaherty, a classic Flaherty start. It seems like every time I go, this guy is looking good through like 4 or 5 innings, then he absolutely falls apart. So that was a bit annoying as well, but hopefully we can have some better success across the board here tonight. So let's hop right into it, though. First guy up, I'm going to go with Matt Boyd here. Been a little bit inconsistent recently, struggling, but this is a really good spot for him to bounce back, I believe. At home here in Detroit, a part downgrade for Texas. Rangers worse against left-handed pitchers. They strike out a bit more against lefties as well. And Boyd, that's been one of his best things this year for him. His strikeout rate has been really good, a 30% K rate on the season for him. And the Rangers, I believe, around 27% K rate against lefties. So if he can get into a groove here, limit the hits, I think he can pile on some strikeouts in this matchup. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my first guy. Then I'm going to go with Zack Gallen. This guy had a really good first start, up-and-coming prospect for the Marlins. He pitched really well in the minors. I think he was leading all pitchers in the minors with not stolen bases, strikeouts. And his first game, 5 innings, 6 Ks against a St. Louis team that isn't that strikeout prone, I would say, kind of middle of the pack. But against the Nationals here, they're a little bit worse against right-handed pitchers. A lot of their success has come against lefties. They strike out a little bit more against righties. And I think he's going to show off his stuff again here in Miami. Great pitching environment. And continue that impressive start to his career here against a good Nationals lineup. So I think he has good upside for his price tag, like I mentioned, that good strikeout ability in the minors and also in 5 innings against St. Louis. If he can limit the pitch count a little bit, go a little bit deeper, I think he's going to be a really good play. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as a second guy. That gives us a lot of good amount of money left over for the hitters. So Alvarez, this guy is an absolute freak in nature. I mean, his swing is so smooth for a guy his size, and he just absolutely destroys it. Every time he makes contact, it seems like, especially against right-handed pitchers, a 66% hard contact rate versus righties, 450 ISO. This is a second career start for the Pirates pitchers, so he's probably going to have some nerves up there. Going against a really good lineup in the Astros, a lineup that is very tough to get outs on, especially when they're on. They've been picking it up a little bit recently, and now they're implied 5.8 runs. And Alvarez, like I mentioned, against righties, a very tough out. I think he can go deep in this spot. He's just been so good with his power and just his pull ability so far this year. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my first hitter. Then I'm going to go with Rhys Hoskins, another guy with extremely good raw power, going against Jason Vargas. Not a good pitcher. Gives up a lot of production to right-handed batters. Has been a little bit better this year, but last year he was terrible against righties. Gave up around 2 home runs per 9. This is a park downgrade for him going to Philly. Pretty good hitter's park. Some good hitting conditions here. And I think Hoskins can go deep against him. If not him, they can get into that Mets bullpen, which isn't very good. And will be in the meat of that lineup. Has really good upside there for RBI potential. And he's been on a little bit of a tear recently. 3 home runs in the last 4 games. So good upside against Vargas, a guy that can be an absolute gas can and give up a ton of runs. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my second guy. Then I'm going to pair him up with Gene Segura at 4,100. He's been very good against lefties so far this year. The start against the Mets here, I was actually considering playing him because he was so good against lefties, and it was against Steven Matz, who can be really inconsistent. But of course, I went with Jose Ramirez instead of him, and Segura turned out to be the better play. But against lefties, a 365 ISO this year. So a lot better power numbers against them. And like I mentioned, Vargas is prone to allowing extra base hits. And also, he does have some stolen base ability against Vargas. He can be stolen on. They're implied 5.7 runs. So Hoskins and Segura, I think, is a great little mini stack here tonight. It's not too expensive either at 4,100 for Segura. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my third guy. For my final guy, I'm still not going to give up on this guy, Matt Carpenter. I still like him as a DFS play in some of these situations. So at 4,200 here, going against an A's pitcher who has a very low swinging strike rate. That can be one of the biggest issues with Matt Carpenter. Just swinging at some balls that are really out of the zone, chasing some pitchers. But that's really not the case with Mengden, a pitcher that doesn't have strikeout ability really. He's been giving up a ton of hard contact when getting hit on, and he's also due for a big regression, I would say, in his home run to fly ball rate. I think it's only like 3% last year, around 13%. Average is around probably like 13% or something like that. So very lucky with his home run to fly ball rate, and Carpenter is a guy that does have that home run ability. I think he can hit for hard contact against him and be able to go deep here in the top of this lineup. Can get some extra at-bats coming off a game last night where he got a triple. Hopefully build on that, and has good upside against a bad pitcher. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my final guy. So you got Matt Boyd, Gallen, Hoskins, Carpenter, Segura, and Alvarez. Hope you enjoyed it. Slap a like if you did. 50-plus likes would be great. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to continue to get these plays. Hopefully we don't have any guys going out there again, getting a base hit, then end up leaving the game with an injury. That was really, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, of course Stanton wants to leave the game. I don't even know what to say about that, but hopefully we have some better luck here tonight. So good luck here tonight. Hope you win some money. Comment any questions you have down below, and we'll see you back here again next time.